Hi, my name is Matt. I am with Geeks of Color. And I guess my first question is, um, Martin Scorsese recently called out comic book based content as being a danger to our culture and asked, what does it give to you? What does it do for you? What would you say to that? And what do you think that comic book based movies and television do give to people?
I think I think with Loki, we wanted to build a really, we just wanted to make a great story and a great show. And I think that this is something that all of the filmmakers involved, and including Tom Hiddleston, and I think it comes through in every frame of this. It's being built with a lot of love and care and an eye for the cinematic. I think any of these shows, any of these movies, anything in this world is they're about making a character focused story that audiences can connect with. Sometimes we succeed at that, sometimes we don't. But I think something like this show, I would challenge anyone watching to say that it's not cinematic and it's not built with the highest craftsmanship and care. And that's something that I think as a producer and as any producers within Marvel Studios, we should be aiming for is like, how do you build these to the highest level? Because frankly, people just want to see good stories. And to me, that can kind of just get you like that gets the audience there. If you build something beautiful, they're going to enjoy it, whether it's a, a show like this or an indie film like the things that Justin and Aaron make when they're not working with us.
Okay. So going on with that love and that care, there is so much love and care for the character of Loki to the point where I think that I know some people who love Loki more than they love some of like the bigger Marvel heroes. And why do you think that love persists for the character, and why do people relate to Loki so much?
A large part of that is Tom, right? Like he is it just it's hard to imagine anyone else in that role. But I think what he's bringing to it is a real universality to that character. Like, I couldn't tell you what it's like to invade New York and try to take it over with an alien army, but what you sense is it's a character who doesn't have a place. He doesn't know his place in the universe and the world that he's from. He doesn't
Mhm.
know who he is. And I think those are like universal feelings that people can feel at various stages of their life that he's putting on screen in a really beautiful way. And you see him make mistakes sometimes. You
Right.
see him trying to become a better version of himself and not make those mistakes, and then he backslides again. And I think that that's something through the series we like to push is this guy is you're rooting for him to be the best version of himself because he
Mhm.
is charismatic and you see when he's good like what he can be. So I don't know, there's it's I but I think it comes from that. I think there's just something that we can all connect with in a strange way.
Right. So speaking of versions of himself, Loki season one kind of kicked off this whole idea of the multiverse in a way that the general audience could kind of understand what that means. And ever since then, you've kind of seen multiverses in a lot of movie and TV, like indie films, other places it's popping up. What about the concept of a multiverse do you think is makes it so popular, especially right now?
I mean, it's hard to say. And if you asked me 5 years ago when we started even developing Loki, that this would go along with multiverse and this kind of storytelling, I don't know if I would have been so certain. But I think there's got to be something in the ones that have succeeded. And I think Loki did a really good job at it. Everything Everywhere All at Once obviously did a great job at it. And they're so when it's good, it's focused on character and it's
Mm.
focused on a lot of times like possibility and yearning about what how things could have been, and it gives like a lot of deep character reflection. And I think again in a weird universal way there was something that caught on with people about thinking like what if there are other versions of me out there? What would that look like? Would it look like this life? Did I take the right path? Is there other paths I could have taken? There's like reflections like that that I just think are fun to think about, and that like people connect to that. And then when they see it kind of filtered through a character driven story, it can kind of really drive home emotions in a weird way. So I don't necessarily think it's like multiverse specifically, but the multiverse as a tool has just unlocked something really interesting with us as filmmakers and audiences and how they respond.
Right. Last question for me. If you could have Loki explore any multiverse or any period of time, where would you want to see him go?
1970s New York City. I think Loki would have a lot of fun there. And there's a lot of crazier places he could go, but I just think prime Loki back in that era would be getting into all sorts of trouble.
I'd love to see him dance.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you
This,
so much.
thank you so much. Thank you for the time.